Welcome to what is happening in today with Crowning Thoughts. Santiago D.C. Maria Truth Speaker.
Profiting while people bleed, there is a moment when words expose more than intended. There is a moment when confidence turns into confession. There is a moment when tone tells the truth louder than facts ever could. That moment happens when leaders speak about war as if it were a business opportunity instead of a human catastrophe. Civilians are suffering, families are displaced, cities are reduced to rubble, children are growing up under sirens instead of safety. War is not abstract to the people living inside it. War is hunger. War is fear. War is loss that never clocks out. Against that reality, any remark that sounds casual, self-congratulatory, or opportunistic lands like an insult. When a powerful figure speaks about a war and highlights personal benefit, it reveals priorities. It signals where attention truly lives. It shows what matters most when the cameras are on. That is not strength. That is exposure. Bragging during bloodshed is not leadership. It is a failure of moral awareness. It tells the public that suffering is secondary to self-interest. It communicates that human cost is background noise to profit, leverage, or image. That message travels far, even when supporters try to explain it away. Tone matters, timing matters, context matters. A war zone is not a boardroom. A battlefield is not a balance sheet. When someone speaks as if war outcomes are personal wins, it strips dignity from the people paying the highest price. It turns tragedy into talking points. There is a pattern here. War becomes content. Conflict becomes currency. Suffering becomes a backdrop for bravado. This is not accidental. It is cultivated. It thrives in environments where outrage is rewarded and empathy is dismissed as weakness. Calling this out is not disloyalty. It is responsibility. Silence in the face of callousness is not neutrality. It is permission. When civilians are hurting and leaders sound pleased, something is fundamentally broken in the messaging and the mindset behind it. The phrase, "we have a great situation," hits differently when missiles are falling. It sounds detached. It sounds insulated. It sounds like someone far removed from consequences. It signals comfort built on distance from pain. That distance is exactly what fuels distrust. People are tired of hearing war discussed like a chess match. People are exhausted by leaders who treat global crises as branding opportunities. The public notices when empathy is missing. The public hears when concern sounds performative. The public recognizes when confidence crosses into arrogance. This is not about politics as a team sport. This is about basic human decency. There is a baseline expectation that leaders acknowledge suffering with gravity. When that baseline is missed, criticism is earned, not manufactured. Profiting from war is not new. Admitting it casually is what shocks people. Wearing it openly is what angers them. It sends a message that pain is acceptable as long as someone is winning somewhere else. Words shape reality. When influential voices normalize benefiting from conflict, they normalize indifference. They desensitize audiences. They reduce empathy. Over time, that erosion becomes cultural. That is how cruelty gets repackaged as confidence. Civilians do not get to opt out of war. They do not get to monetize it. They do not get to spin it into advantage. They survive it if they are lucky. They carry it forever if they live. Any commentary that forgets that truth deserves scrutiny. This kind of rhetoric also reveals a deeper issue. It exposes how some leaders view power. Power becomes entitlement. Influence becomes immunity. Consequences become optional. That mindset is dangerous in peacetime and catastrophic during war. The public is not wrong to react strongly. The reaction is not oversensitivity. It is a moral response. When suffering is minimized, outrage is appropriate. When empathy is absent, criticism is necessary. This is not about one sentence. It is about what that sentence represents. It represents a worldview where outcomes matter more than people. It represents a comfort with chaos as long as it serves personal narratives. It represents a disconnect that cannot be ignored. War rhetoric should be careful. It should be sober. It should be grounded in respect for life. Anything less invites backlash, not because people are emotional, but because people are human. There is also a broader implication. When leaders frame war as beneficial, they lower the barrier to future conflicts. They make violence easier to sell. They make suffering easier to justify. That should alarm anyone who values stability. Accountability begins with language. Language reveals values. Values guide decisions. Decisions shape history. This chain matters. Ignoring it allows the same patterns to repeat under different headlines. Calling out profiteering language is not extreme. It is necessary. It draws a line between acceptable discourse and moral failure. It reminds leaders that the public is listening, even when they assume it is not. Civilians deserve more than tone-deaf remarks. They deserve acknowledgement of their pain. They deserve leaders who speak with humility in the face of devastation. They deserve rhetoric that recognizes human cost before personal gain. This moment matters because it reflects a larger truth. When leaders show who they are through their words, people should believe them. When someone brags while others bury loved ones, that contrast speaks volumes. The outrage is not manufactured. The criticism is not unfair. It is a response to indifference dressed up as confidence. It is a rejection of corruption normalized through casual language. War is not a victory lap. War is not a branding exercise. War is not a personal scorecard. Any leader who treats it that way invites judgment, and rightly so. The public is paying attention. People are tired of excuses. They are tired of deflection. They are tired of watching suffering be minimized while power congratulates itself. This is not about silencing speech. It is about challenging it. It is about demanding better from those who hold influence. It is about refusing to accept indifference as strength. Civilians are not collateral talking points. They are lives. They are families. They are futures interrupted. Any rhetoric that forgets that deserves to be confronted loudly and clearly. And that confrontation is not going away. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Follow so we can stay connected. Your support matters more than you know, and I appreciate every moment you give to listen. Your support is important to me, and it helps me a lot. It keeps me active, bringing you important information with your support and comments, likes, and shares. Feel free to like, support, and subscribe. I will always provide content for you. I appreciate every support you give. Crowning Thoughts True Speaker Copyright 2025 by Santiago D.C. Maria, licensed under Creative Commons Attribution. I love you all and I appreciate each of you. Stay blessed. Thank you for listening. Love always. Santiago D.C. Maria.